First is the price and wages flexibility. The price and wages inelastic consumption is the basis to establish a floating exchange rate system. And the Friedman hypothesis has composed a set of national or regional area. If in that area the policies, prices, and wages has the sufficient flexibility, namely the wage and prices respond to the change of the market supply and demand timely and sufficiently, then the individual countries or regions in the region should adapt a fixed exchange rate and establish the corresponding relationship between each other's currency, because the price and the wage have the full elasticity. The relative price and wage adjustments can make the markets at the whole area in a clearance at any time. So the balance between each country or region of the equilibrium price doesn't cause a rise in the unemployment. So the area between the countries or regions exchange rate floating is unnecessary, and through a fixed exchange rate it connects the whole areas together. That can also improve the usefulness of the currency. And if the price and wages in the above-mentioned region are completely rigid, the adjustment process of income and expenditure imbalance among the countries or regions in one region will result in the unemployment or inflation in another. Under such conditions, the exchange rate fluctuation among countries or regions can partially play a role under the wage and price flexibility in the adjustment price of the real economy. The Friedman conclude that the countries should adopt floating exchange rate system based on the fact that all economies have different degree of wage and price rigidity in the real life. The initiator of the optimal currency area theory, such as Model, put forward that as long as the inelasticity of the price and wages, the economy can achieve the internal and external equilibrium. And second is the factor market integration. Even if the fixed exchange rate system is adapted, and when the wages and the price and Model's definition of the optimal currency area is the area where the internal factors flow fully, including the labor and capital flows between countries or regions and between the industries, but external factors of productions do not flow at all. Such a zone can use the single currency or fixed exchange rate to form an optimal currency zone. Modell's argument is that of two countries, when facing the imbalance, imbalance, two countries, in addition to the exchange rate policy, the two countries have balancing mechanisms such as the production factor flows completely. And if A and B, two countries, form a currency region, the fixed monetary system price comparison between the two countries and adapted the single currency, or when the demand on B goods is transferred to A goods, a country will be in the inflation, and the country B will be in the unemployment. And if price and wages is completely inelasticity, but the labor can flow freely between the two countries, the country B surplus worker will be transferred to the country A, and the country A produced more products, and it improved the supply level of A country, and it doesn't require exchange rate adjustments. The final equilibrium final equilibrium of the real economy is partially realized by the flow of the factors of production. But because of the element of flow speed is generally slow, it is caused by the demand for the east. So it is more effective for the relieving the balance of payment imbalance caused by the long-term or permanent demand transfer. Because the short-term or the temporary impacts of the balance of payment imbalance caused by is only adjusting if the short-term or temporary economic impact, if the imbalance is caused by the short-term or temporary economic impact, and it only adjusted by the factors of production between the industry and between the countries or regions. The regional various countries or regions will appear inflation or unemployment.